Have you ever made a mistake and found yourself talking to yourself in a way you would never talk to someone you love? I have, and I've been thinking about why that is. Hello and welcome to Thrive Within. I'm your host, Mark Bucksouth, a life coach, educator, and someone who's passionate about helping you live more fully, honestly, and aligned with who you really are. This podcast is your space for real talk and focused coaching on things like confidence, purpose, boundaries, self-doubt, and personal growth. So whether you're in a walk, taking a break, or just giving your brain a moment to breathe, I am so glad you're here. Let's get into it. The more I think about it, the more I realize I'm living a double standard. And I don't think I'm the only one. For instance, if one of my students make a mistake, I wouldn't tell them that they're a failure. I'd remind them that they're learning. If a friend of mine called, upset because they messed something up, I wouldn't tell them that they should have known better. I'd probably ask, well, what'd you learn? Or, what are you going to do differently this time? Or next time? And then I remind them that they're going to be okay. So why is it that the conversation becomes different when it comes to me? Why do I expect myself to respond to mistakes in a way that I'd never expect anyone else to? And that really made me stop and think, because maybe I don't have higher expectations of myself. Maybe I have a little less patience with myself. I was watching TV one day and I saw an interview where somebody asked a question that has never left my mind. They had said, if a 6-year-old made a mistake, would you talk to them the same way you talk to yourself? And that answer stuck to me because no, I wouldn't. And I think most of us would either, because we're much harsher on ourselves than we would be to a child. Then it hit me that I've been a teacher for so long, I forgot that I am a student too. Not a film student, but a student of life. I'd ask myself, why am I having a completely different conversation with myself than I would with one of my students? And that's what really made me stop and think that maybe somewhere along the way, I became the teacher for everyone else and forgot I was still one of my students too. I was talking to myself in a way I'd never talked to somebody else I care about. And that wasn't really the mistake. The mistake was believing that I deserved a different kind of patience and that I'd give someone else who was willing to learn. And honestly, I don't think that's the relationship I want to have with myself anymore. So can I invite you to try something this week? The next time you make a mistake, before your inner critic gets to the microphone, pause. Then ask yourself one simple question. One small question. If someone I cared about made the same mistake, what would I say to them? Don't change the words. Actually answer it, and then listen to your own voice and your own advice. Not because you're making an excuse, not because responsibility doesn't matter, but because if those words would help someone else grow, then there's a good chance it'll help you grow too. Maybe the next time I make a mistake, I want to remember I'm still one of the students, and maybe I deserve the same patience, the same honesty, and the same forgiveness I'd offer someone who's still learning, because that someone is me. Maybe growth has never required perfection. Maybe it simply requires enough honesty to learn from our mistakes and enough forgiveness to keep going. And maybe that's enough for today. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'll see you next Tuesday. Until then, take care of yourself and remember, you're doing better than you think.